Hello, I'm Mary Trimble with your readings for September the 24th through September the 30th. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm so happy that you stopped by. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you enjoy these readings and that you will come back. And if you've been here before, thank you so much. Listen, guys, you know, you really touch my heart, and you really helped me through a very difficult week. I want to apologize for only getting 7 readings up last week, so I am going to start with Aries where I left off with Pisces last week. So I'm going to start with Aries. I hope the Librans will forgive me. As soon as I've gone through to Virgo, I will then do Libra and go on from there. What else? You really helped me. Thank you for all the wonderful sentiments about my mum. I really appreciate you. I'm using a green screen with photographs from Nottingham, but I'm going to, each reading will be my mum's window in the background. So it's her view of what she had in her house just before she was she moved into the assisted living apartment. She lived in Woollerton, and here is the view out of her window. It was so pretty, and this is only a section of her window. She had a lovely bay window. Anyway, I thought I would let you know that. And of course, this is in honor of my mum. I will be leaving for England next week. I may not get the readings up for a couple of weeks, so I just wanted you to bear with me and please hang in there and come back and support me. I would really appreciate that. Now, these are general readings, guys. I will start with an astrological reading, and you can skip that if you're checking out your sun, moon, and rising. But the astrological reading is quite interesting this week, and that will go on every video. The format will change probably in maybe the end of October or November. I'm going to tailor each reading for each sign, so they'll be different. And what else? These are general readings. Like I said, if you would like a personal reading, you can click here and find out more information. And if you just want to support me, and I can tell you I could really use some support right now with everything that's going on, and you can check me out on Patreon, and you can click on here for Patreon. Okay, so let's go into the astrological report, shall we? Look, we're starting off the week with a full moon in Aries. Now, moons are very emotional anyway, but this moon in particular is quite emotional. I mean, of course, all the water signs, you know, definitely feel it, but it's right next to Chiron. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So we're going to find a lot of our childhood wounds may come up. You know, some issues that we, you know, look, they may be brought up, and that's great, right? Because this is a time that we can look at them, feel them, and then release them. So this is a great opportunity to do that. We may have some issues this week with there are several other aspects going on. I'm just going to give you a general energy for the week. We may have some challenges with our relationships this week. So we could be quick to be angry, so it's really important to think before we speak and react and try to avoid conflict. But whatever happens this week, there are lessons here, and there are obstacles that we can overcome. These are opportunities for us to overcome these obstacles. On the positive side, we are going to have a lot of energy. And so we will be, you know, energized to be ambitious and to do things and have that get up and go. So that's a good thing. Just when something comes up for you, retreat and have some self-reflection with it so that you can learn from it and move on. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and because there is, there's a lot going on this week. I just want to mention the full moon is always a culmination of things. We will be letting things go. We will be letting relationships go. It is important for us to really look and see what is working for us and then release that which is no longer working for us. Sometimes we fight to hang on to things that don't work for us. This full moon is definitely, all full moons are a culmination or an ending, right? A completion of something. And this is particularly energized towards the completion of things, relationships in kind of all areas, at work, our boss. Some of us will be ending jobs. Some of us will be ending, perhaps if we have a business, we'll be ending some part of what we've been doing and no longer focusing on that and focusing on something else. Whatever this is, it's transformational right now, and so we will be going forward kind of renewed and different. I know I, for one, I've really felt the energy of this full moon, and some childhood issues came up for me, and it was intense. But what I was able to do was I was able to, really feel it. It was primal crying that I went through. And when I came through it, I was able to look at it, I don't want to say dispassionately, but from a distance. And I was able to, what's the word I'm looking for? I was able to discern. And I was able to remove myself from those intense feelings and really see what was going on so that I could accept it and then just, release it and move on. We don't have to feel that pain forever, but it is important that we go back and we feel it so that it's not affecting our lives in a negative way, so that we can move forward without the shackles of the past on us. So this moon, this full moon, is an amazing opportunity to remove those shackles. Just be willing to look at that. Be willing to look at that messy stuff. Sometimes it's messy, we all have that. But look at it so that you can release it. So without further ado, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your reading for September the 23rd through September the 30th. Is it the 3rd? September the 24th through September the 30th. And the first card out for you guys is the Six of Cups. This, I have a feeling, might come up for a lot of people because this is about... I'm using a green screen, so and there's green in this, so it might look see-through. Just so you know. This is my mum's window. She looked out of this. What a pretty view. Isn't it lovely with all the flowers? I'm so glad I took this photograph because I'm using this green screen and I wanted to put it up. The Six of Cups, right? This is about childhood issues coming up. And this is interesting because I feel things are going to come up because we have the full moon in Aries next to Chiron, right? Which is the wounded healer. And so I feel that childhood issues are going to come up. I feel that it might have something to do with our parents. It's, the moon is about your mother, and the sun, which is opposing the moon. That's why we have a full moon. They're always opposite each other for full moons, is about the father, right? So this is about, look, things are going to come up for us, and it's important. This is an opportunity, guys, to really look at these issues and heal them once and for all and release them. Clarifying this is the Temperance card. Now, the motto for the Temperance card is everything in moderation. So we could be over emotional. We could be, we may not want to feel our feelings, right? Because these sometimes are difficult feelings. Obviously, they're primal. So, you know, it's what made us, but it's also the avoidance of it will keep us in pain. And this sometimes comes up because we may, you know, want to get it out of those feelings by, you know, for me, I was watching a lot of television because I didn't want to feel, right? You know, you can eat too much. I did that as well. You can drink too much. You can, you know, what, you can gamble, whatever it is for you that gets you out of those, you know, out of that really uncomfortable emotional place where you're feeling these very, well, these primal feelings, the damage that has happened to us in the past. And we all have damage to us in the past. And, you know, and we're all kind of varying degrees of sensitivity. So something that will affect one child will not affect another. So it's a personal journey, right? So this is saying everything in moderation. Don't avoid these feelings, Taurus. It's important to feel them so that you can move on. Now, the next card you have is the Five of Wands. So this is like, you know, the Five of Wands is about kind of conflict, right? It's not a major conflict. And it's actually saying don't avoid the conflict, but don't go in, you know, blazing. Don't go in attacking. You have to handle this with creativity and diplomacy. This is very important to handle this in a diplomatic and calm way. And Taurus, you have that wonderful ability to be grounded and calm in the storm. But you know, you can be quick to anger too. So this is saying, you know, really breathe. Don't run at that red flag, darling. That's what it is. Don't run at that red flag. Clarifying it is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is that you kind of have to be focused right now on what's going on in front of you. It's being in the present moment, because this is the master multitasker, right? He's the juggler. He's trying to, you know, it can be juggling two jobs. It can be juggling trying to be present at home, but then you're at work. And then when you're at work, this is saying, when you're at work, be at work 100%. When you're at home, be at home 100%. Don't be distracted by your phone or, you know, thinking about things at work when you're at home. When you're at home with your loved ones or your family, be there with them. And when you're at work, be at work 100%. Don't be elsewhere. Look, there we go. Spirit's here. I'm itching my nose again. My nose is itchy. I'm scratching my nose. So the next card out, and this is the Page of Swords. Okay, so this is about being, two things come up for this. The Page of Swords, he's ready to swipe down anyone that, you know, comes in his way. He's been learning from the Knight. He's been an apprentice. He's kind of learned everything he needs to learn, but now he needs experience, right? So this can indicate that you're ready to move on to the next phase of your life, but it can also be that this is also, he's a messenger, right? The Page of Swords, pages are messengers too. So this could be someone who's saying something that doesn't feel nice when they say it, right? It doesn't feel good to hear them say it. However, there's truth in this, because the Page of Swords is they have no awareness of the other person's feelings. So it's almost like brutal honesty. The intention is not to hurt you. So it's important that you don't take this personally. The intention is to tell the truth so it can help you. It's like they, the Page of Swords looks, is delivering this message without compassion, right? So we need to, when this card comes up, we need to kind of retreat. Don't react. You're being asked not to react this week. And it's, it's going to be a difficult task. But remember, think about this. When somebody says something, it's like, hold back. Don't react, because there may be something in here that you need to own. There may be some truth that you've got to take in and own in some way. And hard as it is, we need to face up sometimes to our own behavior or whatever it is, whatever this truth is. Now, clarifying it is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, I'm just getting something here. The Queen of Pentacles is one of those, look, she's got all these riches and she's worked hard. This is saying that you've worked very hard for what you have. And everyone around you has benefited from it. But this is also saying don't go over the top with being too frugal. And you may have somebody saying something to you about being too frugal. This is about going in the opposite direction of, being very miserly almost. And I'm not saying you are miserly, but you could have the tendency to go there. So it's like you're gathering all this wealth and you want it to grow and you're afraid to spend. Look, you can be blocking the energy. Money is energy, and possessions, wonderful possessions are great, right? But they're not. Possessions are just things. They can be replaced. People can't. So you're being asked to, yes, appreciate what you have accomplished and how much you have gained, but don't be afraid to be generous. And I'm not saying over generous, but be generous. Don't hold all this in and be too frugal. Even with yourself, you could be too frugal, right? So this is saying that you need to kind of look, it's not all about material gains. This is what I'm getting. It's not all about material gains. So, sometimes you can be focused too much on the material aspect in your life and you become obsessed with it, right? Obsessed with getting more and more and more. And these two cards are coming in because I think that you need to kind of really come out of that obsession. You may not be in the obsession right now, but you could have the tendency to go into it. So the thing to do is to really come back down, because you may be in your head obsessing about making more, getting more, and in doing so you're kind of like holding on to things, holding on to your possessions and your money, and you're becoming obsessed, so you're becoming very obsessively frugal, if you will. So just be aware of that. I'm not saying you are, but you could have the tendency to this week. So this is your motto the whole week. Everything in moderation. Taurus, don't forget that. Everything in moderation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, comment. I love comments and feedback, and subscribe if you haven't already. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you soon.